once in a while, I'd like to give some book, some book hat tips. All right, suggestions. I like to read a lot.
No, not
I
you.
got this in PDF.
Isn't this where enlightenment came?
Yeah. Jack Snyder, Miss of Empire, book tip for the week. He crushes those guys. I mean, it's elegant. It's beautiful. The domino effect during communism, the scare of communism, he destroys that. The mythical city of El Dorado. That's what those guys are chasing. They're looking for the city of gold. One more war will get us that wealth and resources. One more war will give us the control over this hemisphere. One more war will be the result of human peace. And it just is, it's a myth. You'll end up like the Spaniards, chasing down the mythical city of El Dorado. You'll spend every penny you have in the treasury, and you'll end up just another broke-ass monarch with nothing to your name.
You so went there.
Broke joke. A once admirable and powerful and proud superpower.
Singing Nobody Knows But Jesus.
Begging to other kings for a loan. Begging. Sound familiar to you? Jack Snyder, Myths of Empire. Jack Snyder, Myths of Empire. All right.
Yeah, than some liberal internationalists. Yeah. When you're a realist, you absolutely loathe the Republican Party because they're warmongers.
Yeah. No bueno.
Jack Snyder, Myths of Empire. Did you guys read it since I told you about it last week?
And now Joe is raising 2 kids on his own. This is why I get as angry as I do, because people are the cost of these decisions. Of Donald Rumsfeld's decision. 2 decisions, which we went over in this book right here. American Foreign Policy Since World War II. My old college professor on the title of that puppy. He's right. See, it's incredible. Yeah, so again, it's this is what I was reading. I saw your Twitter message. Again, you must have missed it. American Foreign Policy Since World War II, and it is written by Stephen W. Hook and John Spanier. I'm gonna get a call later saying, "Damn it, I'm gonna lose tenure because of you." All right, don't cite me on your show, man. They hate your guts over here.
He's good though.
Yeah, I mean, no, look, both brilliant men, by the way. Both brilliant guys. Red states.
Are you telling me that it's just a given? There's going to be drop boxes. I mean, forever now.
Yes. I mean, this is the way the left works, and people, I don't know, that are more moderate Republicans, maybe that hold elected office. They never really understood this. It was always going to be Trump today and you tomorrow, suckers. Okay? They're going to keep the ball rolling. The left never gives back. You know, it's Robert Higgs, Crisis and Leviathan. They use the crisis to grab what they want, a piece of what they want, and they never give it back when the crisis is over.
It's like mailing an arsonist a book of matches. That's
the more dangerous.
It's an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Although, look, you know, R.J. Rummel and Death by Government, at least in the 20th century, Marxism did prove the most dangerous, fatal system of government. But that's only because, you know, Hitler didn't win the war. Who knows? Mm-hmm. But as far as like body count, guys, I mean, Hitler gets the bad, evil rap because he lost the war and because there was a racial component to it. But Uncle Joe certainly had a racial element to his persecution of the Ukrainians, and later Mao certainly had a racial element to his persecution of Western, non-Taoist, people who didn't go along with the reset cultural revolution kind of thing, but Mao's body count puts Hitler to shame.
Sure does.
Puts him to shame.
I pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
But they weren't, Hitler wasn't Uncle Adolf like Stalin was, Uncle Joe. And that's another Pol Pot, Eric, right? Holy crap. The Khmer Rouge? Holy crap. 2 million out of... he literally murdered 1/3 of the population. It's crazy. And I don't know how on earth live.
That's where it's about.
Because the fact is, they follow the virtuous here.
I wonder why, though.
Tom Purcell was right about that. They were always there beneath the surface, just waiting to corrupt another civilization. That's what they do. They've been there the entire time from antiquity and ancient Egypt and, all the way to, whether they were corrupting the priests, chiseling, knocking off the side of pillars. It is. It's it is. That's why he called it The Return of the Kings. That's right. It was a brilliant book. I'll tell you what, Tom Purcell is an underappreciated talent. I'll tell you that. All right, let's get another. Get another. Well, because I could talk about that.
I can ask a question
all day. Answer it. The answer is I don't have the answer to that. I can lay out, some challenges.
All things are possible, but
all things are possible with God.
Amen. True story.
Speaking of which. Yesterday, I got it in the mail. I read the PDF version of it. It's now available in softcover. Once in a while, I'd like to give some book, some book hat tips. All right, suggestions. I like to read a lot.
No, not
I got this in PDF format before the election, I believe, of 2020. Gobbled down most of it. Found it to be the most comprehensive and what's the most comprehensive put together record of media dishonesty in the Trump era that I have ever seen. And there have been some good books. I'm not a big fan of Byron York himself, but I bought Obsessed. It was a good book. Even Don, Don Jr., I think my mother-in-law was reading it, and I grabbed it from her. And he even wrote about, look at how many times I'm going to document here, how many times the media lied. That's nothing. These are like public figure books. This is a book written by, I believe, a lawyer. He's a member of our community, I found out. His name is Daniel Street, and this is written like a lawyer would write it. Like, this is a comprehensive, systemic prosecution of media deceit. It's Daniel Street's Fake News Exposed. 50 of the worst media lies and biased attacks on President Trump and his family. But it's really more than that. All right? And going back to... Okay, so this is a it was a letter that came with it, so I was reading it. But I said, let me read up to this page. The Michael Cohen story. The number of headlines from the beginning of the Michael Cohen story, his role that was played here, everything from the Trump Tower meeting to this and that, you lose count. I don't know how Daniel Street even put the number of headlines that he finds for each one of these examples is just unbelievable. But what I like best about the book, again, what I like best about it is this is a perfect example of how they are the enemy. All right. It's not just what they report. It's what they don't report and then how they do report things and in the context they do. And Russia collusion, which is one, obviously he focuses quite a bit on Russia collusion. And not just that, but the tentacles of Russia collusion, right? All those stories that served as tentacles of Russia collusion.
they needed to make, because the fact pattern didn't fit, they needed to make it fit. So they obfuscated all the time on the timeline of events that would transpire. CNN literally got a date wrong just to try. I actually don't think they got it wrong. And Don Jr., when Don Jr. said, "Did you not look at the damn date on the email?" Everyone knew of WikiLeaks at that point. I think that was just a bigger part of what they do, which is, come on, it didn't get through the editorial process. Are you kidding me? Of course it did. They needed to obfuscate the timeline and only retract it or correct it when they absolutely needed to. All right. The Michael Cohen knew about the Trump Tower meeting fiasco is another perfect example. When, in truth, and he keeps doing this all the time, what did they say? What did they report? What's the truth?
STREET,
right? Yeah, like street. Yeah. And he said the truth. The truth is Michael Cohen did not testify then candidate Donald J. Trump in advance knowledge of the June 9, 2016 meeting with the Russian lawyer at Trump Tower. First, Cohen's lawyer, Lanny Davis, said he was wrong to confirm CNN's story was true. And then goes on. What he does always is, what's the claim? What did they say? What is the timeline of events here? Does it match up? It never does. It never did. Which I can't believe. As journalists, these are mistakes they would make. And then they're like intentionally. Now, I know the quality of journalism just sucks. And I know the immaturity level is just bad. But you read this book, folks, and then you tell me, and we can have a discussion over it. It's not much. You tell me what you think is more likely. They just screwed up all of these times? Maggie Haberman, who works for the New York Times, didn't know? Adam Schiff didn't tell her that the phony Steele dossier was funded by the DNC and the Clinton campaign? Do you really believe that? Because so many other things that she claimed to have knowledge of would suggest she's full of crap.